Thank you so much for staying tuned. On this segment is all about political situation in Nigeria ahead of the 2023 general elections. So many things are happening from the north, south, east, and western. Nigerians are not so happy about the indecision of the ruling party to really confirm the region or zone to give the presidency. Because from what the chairman of the APC said, he said, look, that is beyond him, that he cannot say. And of course, Northern oligarch, so to speak, talking about a high-ranking traditional ruler in the north, says, look, we shouldn't be talking about zoning. He said he's speaking on his own behalf right now. We don't want to mention names. So he was talking about zoning, that the best hand should be given that position. And he said the Northerners do have the right also to go pick tickets to contest for the presidency. All right, he's saying he's speaking in his own capacity. If we have a Northern president that is able to do one or two things, fine. If you have a Southern president, it's okay. But to him, he's encouraging the Northern aspirants to do well, to represent the Northern Hemisphere. We're waiting for the PDP to hear what they're going to say. For the APC, they are out saying, look, it's beyond us. Whatever happens, Nigerians should be the ones to determine finally who will become the president. And that seems to be what is going on right now. Don't forget about the comment of Ozokeme saying that, considering speaking, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan do have the right to contest. I still have my two panelists with me in the studio. I have Derek Ohumogo and, of course, Gabriel Ehigato with me in the studio. And they're going to be expressing their views and opinions on various political stories emanating from Nigeria, as everything is just in top gear. 100 billion, 40 million, and all that. My. That is what we call money. Let me start off with you, Gabriel. You've heard about what a Northern oligarch talked about. He said he's speaking in his own capacity. Nobody should join wars with him from any other group. He's not speaking for a particular group. His own idea that the Northern citizens of Nigeria do have the right also to take a shot at the presidency. If they're qualified enough and they win, so be it. Take it up from there.
Listen, take that statement to the bank or take it to the lab and pour chemical on it. You see, it's a game plan.
A game plan?
It's a game plan. I wonder why, now that election is very close, politicians are not scared of zoning. Zoning has been there from time memorial. Zoning was promulgated by the Nigerian politicians for their own selfish interest. They were the ones that started preaching about zoning. They are not the same set of persons fighting against zoning. What is the essence of zoning? It's for demystification of basic amenities, for equal representation, for justice, fairness, and for equity's sake. That's why we are zoning. A particular set of people cannot continue to retain power year in, year out. What happened to other segment of the nation? What happened to other group? Who made up the country? Is Nigeria as a nation, as a political state, made up of only the northern part of this country? We are the southern part, we are the eastern part, and the western part. All of these put together, I will make up the Nigerian political structure. So I wonder why they are scared of zoning. I do not know why they are scared of zoning. Now look at the statement emphatically, saying that anybody that is qualified to rule this nation, it doesn't care for the south or for the east or for the north. So as far as it's concerned, even the northerners, since we have more stand in becoming the president of this nation. That is a selfish statement. That is a corroborated statement, a kind of a cooked statement. Because he has the willpower. He seems to have the strength. As we say, the strong man who can only make that statement without anybody opposing it. But we must fight against people who seems to have taken this nation backward. Because if you look at this nation critically, a certain part of this nation is taking the rest of us backward. The Northerners are taking the Southerners backward. Go
they
to
don't want to agree
no, I know you don't want to agree. I don't agree to that.
They have their reasons.
But let me step on that statement. They are taking us backward. The educational level in the north is very low. If you have 200 in JAMB, to even get admission in southern Nigeria is difficult. But when you have 150, you will get an admission in a federal university in the north. They have only been taking us backward over the years.
They may not agree to that.
Yeah,
and they may have the reasons.
They may not agree, but their character disposition is expressing that. How can you say that we should not avert to zoning? That only the North continue to retain power? We will not allow that. Or is it because they are planning we're having serious issue in the political parties in Nigeria? I'm sure if they do not want to use APC to come to power, the Northerners, I'm sure they will want to use PDP. Or they want to use every other party.
Calm down.
But I will say that
this particular character is not speaking from his own perspective.
But
that's not generalized, please.
That's why I will say that.
Yes.
We cannot continue to do the same thing the same way and expect a different result. Zoning is part of our existence, our political existence. Our Nigerian politicians, or politicians, so to speak, must respect that.
Okay, I will come back to you, but this I'll tell you to please watch your emotions. Okay, watch your emotions. Derek, you heard the comment. What do you feel about this? Is zoning under threat? Because it's becoming glaring for the APC national chairman to tell you, look, it is beyond me. And the PDP Nigerians are still waiting. No response from them yet about zoning. What do you feel about this?
Well, if zoning had not started in Nigeria at all, it would have been a beautiful thing. If we were a nation that rewards hard work, dedication, commitment, loyalty, it would have been a beautiful thing. If we were a nation that brings its best foot forward at every given point in time, it would have been nice. We would have, progressed much more than, we are today. Like I said earlier, that Nigeria have only succeeded in growing its economy by just 400%. That is times 4 since 1960. Whereas inflation is more than 400,000%, and so on and so forth. And our GNP, are not, is also, times 4. So if we are consistently, supported the best hands to take up responsibility of building Nigeria, Nigeria would have been in a state of Eldorado long ago. Nigeria is blessed. We have natural resources, whereas some countries, instead of natural resources, have natural disasters. Nigeria have good brains. That's why you see that, because the youth of these days, they do not have the chance and opportunity to use their brain for productivity. They are not inspired to be positive. So they have figured out a way to, defrauding people here and there. Even we had people, our local citizens here have been defrauded of their hard income, in Yahoo that they call local. So Nigeria needs to do the best thing at this point in time so that this country will not continue to erode backward. If we want to actually support zoning as it were, naturally, everybody should have or would have agreed that it's the southeastern part of Nigeria that ought to produce the president of this country. And we have quality people there. We have quality people there. We have the likes of Peter Obi. The likes of
we are not yet to campaign for anybody, please. I wouldn't want us to mention names. I have reasons for that.
So we have quality people in this country. Why can't we support quality people? Why can't we support those who have been on ground to work for the improvement and the betterment of our establishments? Why is it that all the time food is ready? Once it is election year, you see people coming from left, right, and center. Those who have deserted us, those who have been sleeping, they all wake up and start throwing money around, to reap where they did not sow. So Nigeria need to wake up and look inward. The inward looking will be to ensure that we do the proper thing at every single point in time. Because when you do the right thing at the wrong time, you will get the wrong result.
So what do you think you are doing right now? Is it the wrong thing at the right time or right time or the wrong time? I don't
we
get it.
have always subscribed to zoning. If Nigeria have always subscribed to zoning, because even our constitution recognizes federal character, you know, we have subscribed to zoning for the sake of equity and fairness. So if that is what has been obtainable in this country, why is it that after 8 years of the northern, rulership or governance of this country, then one or two people are still saying they should jettison zoning, that the northerners, because they have the number, so they, as a result, they should be the ones, or they should contest. This is not fair to the other, ethnic nationalities of this country who are minute.
Thank you, Derek. Now, he went further to mention some names that from the northern part of the country, that these guys are credible. Take a look at their track records. They are credible. So they have the right to come out to say, look, this is what we want. We have the right to come and say, we want to vie for the presidency if you go by the track record. Is it about morality, fairness, or what is good for Nigeria as a country? Gabriel.
There have never been morality in politics.
Wow, for real?
I keep saying it. Because there is even morality. The northern oligarchy will not be arguing over who the presidency seat or where the presidency seat should be zoned to. It's very clear that the northerners want to retain power by all means. I don't want to call their names, as you have said. They want to retain power either by hook or by crook. They want to retain power either in reality or in dream. That's what they are trying to do to us. And it's wrong. We cannot eliminate zoning. We cannot. My friend mentioned of the Federal Character Commission. Even the principle of the Federal Character Commission is not being obeyed. It's not being obeyed. We don't respect the Federal Character Commission principle in Nigeria anymore. A very last set of the northern extraction are occupying vital positions in the country. If you go from our military to our economic cadre to our educational system, it is always the northern. And what happened to other sets of the nation? So zoning is part of what I've come to stay. And if you even watch critically, sir, and take a closer microscopic view and a good political analysis, you will find out that those that are fighting against zoning are the ones that started the preaching, the sermon, the salvation of zoning. So I wonder why they are not against it. Now that I didn't favor them, they are now against zoning. I'll give you an example, sir. I like using my locality as a good example. In Ikpobaha and Igor Federal Constituency, it has only been Ikpobaha who have been in the House of Rep for years. Ego, I've just won representative since 1999 to date. And you are telling me there's equity, you're telling me there's fairness, you're telling me that they should not respect zoning. So we are not Koko Edosa. A group set of persons have been going to the House of Rep for the first time, third time, fourth time, third time, they're even going for the fourth time. While the other set of people are saying, no, enough is enough. What happened to us? We are part of Akoko Edo. And you say we should not talk about zoning? As far as zoning is not respected in table of dialogue, there will continue to be unfairness, injustice, there will begin to be not equity. And that is the situation we are going to experience. And that will create more political chaos for our existence as a nation. The Nigeria politicians, the Nigeria political practitioners should respect zoning, because it is what I've come to stay, whether constitutional or not constitutional.
Whether constitutional or not constitutional, because right now I'm coming to the constitution of the country. Was only spelled out, Derek, in the constitution of the country. Because they said, following constitution, there was no place Nigerians are asked to, zone. If you talk about other political parties, a gentleman agreement, it's my turn this term, it's your turn next time. It's not there, it's not written, it's not signed, sealed, or delivered. What do you feel about this mentality?
I think this question should have been directed to my barrister.
I'm asking you right now.
But if you are saying zoning is not spelled out in the constitution, is the federal character not recognized you know, in the Nigerian Constitution. That's number one. Then number two, it's you know, zoning it's a conventional arrangement. You know, it's something that leaders, opinion leaders, stakeholders of the polity came together, you know, to agree on. And we are already used to it. This is something that we have been doing, we have been practicing, and we are used to it. You know, yes, we cannot go to the courts to say because they not ruled for 8 years and they want to rule again, so we are asking the court to nullify, you know, their candidature. We cannot do that. But, you see, what is just and fair is what every reasonable human being should support. Yes, fine. If Nigeria was a nation, like I said, that supports optimal productivity, we would not have been talking about zoning here and there. If an Isha person, for example, becomes governor of Edo State, I'm saying, for example, becomes governor of Edo State.
For example, okay.
And is doing well. All the geopolitical zone, all the local government, all the wards of the state is benefiting and having a very good impact in governance. The GDP of the state is going forward. The government is supporting SMEs, small and medium scale business owners. You know, basic infrastructures are being provided. There is security, and so on and so forth. The citizens, when they are comfortable with the government of that individual, I can assure you that nobody will talk about zoning. We are talking about zoning now because governance has become an issue of food is ready. Whoever is in aims of affair is almost always the person that controls the money, finance in the system. Is the one that will say who gets what. And most of the time it's about sharing, you know, for individual pocket. I'm not saying all the time, but I'm saying most of the time. So if this is what is obtainable, that's why you see people agitating. And the last time was not the North, you know, that was in charge of the pot, of the porridge. So why don't you allow the South to also be in charge of the porridge now, to be in the kitchen where the food is being prepared, so that they will have the chance to also enjoy, you know, the spoil of political war, as it were. So this is actually the problem that we have in our society. The problem, you see, the problem should have been about development, developing the economy, developing the country, and elevating, you know, lifting the economic standard of the people. But you see, we have left that core aspect of our existence, and we are pursuing geopolitical zonal agenda. It is shameful anyway. But since this is all we have as a people for now, then why don't these people stick to this gentleman agreement that we are all used to?
All right, sticking to the gentleman agreement that we're all used to, many are saying no to it, like what you said, Gabriel. People that were fighting for zoning before, they're now against zoning. What do you think changed?
It's selfishness. Nothing have changed.
Selfishness.
Selfishness. Nothing have changed. You know, when a Nigerian politician is in power, he speaks in regards to the benefit of the government. The government is very good. It's a good government. We are doing well. More structure will be put in place. But when the Nigerian politician leave power, he becomes a political activist. And that's what is happening here and there. People are now speaking against zoning because zoning is not to favor them any longer. And I love the strength of our people. Oh, I said you must respect the gentleman agreement that you have with us. That zoning is constitutional or not constitutional. As he said, it's a conventional practice. We cannot eliminate zoning away from our existence. It has become part and parcel of our political structure as a nation. And we must respect that. If we do not respect zoning, sir, the 2023 general election, God forbid, maybe very broadly. I don't want to say that people will go to the street to carry guns, so they will look as if I'm hating and abetting violence. No. But what you see, the prophecy I'm seeing now, I'm not speaking as a prophet, the prophecy I'm seeing now.
Are you a prophet?
Yeah, become a prophet.
A political prophet
You become
or
a
what?
prophet. The prophecy I'm seeing now, the danger ahead, is something that we cannot combat if we do not take responsibility to respect our socio-political existence as a nation. The Northerners, the Northern oligarchy, I don't want to say the full Northern, the Northern oligarchy, the few, the very few, who think that power is their personal and father hereditary property. And as such, they will continue in that lineage. And we say, God forbid, the spirit of an average Nigerian, especially the Southerners, forbids oppression. And what I see playing out here is political oppression. They are trying to oppress the South. They are trying to use the scheme A. If it doesn't work, they will use the scheme B. And we must remain vigilant and continue to watch these people closely, because zoning has come to stay, and we must respect zoning.
All right. Now, he talked about political oppression. Is that what is playing out right now? Because both parties are like, we don't have the power to determine. And he said this is like political oppression.
Well, political oppression. You see, that terminology might be too might be too strong, if you ask me. But what we have now is people trying to lobby their way to getting an unusual benefit in such a political situation that we find ourselves. Most of the time, the people in power tend to talk tall all the time. Remember when President Goodluck Jonathan was in government, the Niger Delta people used to talk tall all the time. They were very loud, very vocal. Now our people did government, you know, they always come out and say what they want without fear of any form of resistance, you know. So the people in the north, the northern elites who are speaking to sustaining north in power are also speaking because they know that it is their person in government. And this is what I'm always against. This is what I've always been against. That a true government will be a true government, a true president will be a president of all, of everyone. Not a government that protects his clan, his tribe. How petty is that? You know, and it is as a result of these sentiments, you know, of there be my people, Mona leave them, that has given rise to a lot of unusual occurrence in our country. Since Mr. President became president, the will for some people who are from the north to tackle the issue of insecurity, I would say, is kind of not so motivated. They are not too motivated to take the bull by the horn, because most of the people, I'm not saying all, most of the people that are causing problem in the northern part of Nigeria are the northerners. And the people in charge of security, our security architecture, our apparatus, or structure in this country are the northerners. You know, so because of our sentimental attachment to our tribe, we are not able to do the proper thing towards salvaging the unusual security situation in our country. So this is why, like the question you asked, which is the oppression, political oppression that we are experiencing is only as a result of the sentiment of these people to who are from the north, because it's their person who is in power, so they can say whatever they want.
You just hold on. I want to go on a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. Is this political oppression? Because it's like the political parties are scared to say, yes, we zone it to this particular geopolitical zone. No one is saying anything. Are they being oppressed? Are they being muzzled? Don't go away. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. We are the last part of today's edition of This Morning on ITV, the first for the month of May, the first for this month, and we're taking a look at political situation in Nigeria ahead of the 2023 general elections. And I still have my two guests here with me in the studio. Political oppression, and of course, a mention from my president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Michael Zokome, a legal practitioner, a senior advocate of Nigeria, told Nigerians and the world that, constitutionally speaking, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is qualified to aspire for that position once again. Do you think that this is in the mix of the oligarchs from the north?
President Goodluck Jonathan.
Former President.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan.
Yeah.
Is eminently qualified. I don't want to bother us by the various sections of the Nigerian Constitution that seems to empower that. But there is one thing funny about the Nigerian state. Once the Nigerian state can cook up a constitutional part to restrain an individual as far as it doesn't benefit or suit their desire. Jonathan is qualified and eminently qualified to contest as the president of this nation. Also considering the fact that for the certain zone of this nation, which morally, so to speak, ought to even produce the presidency, the next president of our nation, considering the zoning formula. So I wonder why those who seems not to be very enlightened about the Constitution, and even if they are very enlightened, who seem to be very selfish, to protect only their own personal and geopolitical interest, are fighting against Goodluck Jonathan being eminently qualified or not qualified to contest as the Nigerian president. And if you watch the media over the weeks, you will find out that such isolation or such assumption have never have any water to show to you that people arguing and carrying the rumor, I call it a rumor, that Jonathan is not qualified to contest as the president of this nation, seems not to have more weight and water. That is why it's not a big giving attention to. I want to thank the very respected Lenesing, Michael Zokome. I read through his analysis and I read through the constitutional parts that he brought up to reflect and educate Nigerians. It is very clear that Jonathan is qualified. He has a fair way as a Nigerian citizen to contest as a Nigerian president. But be that as it may, I'm not very in support of Jonathan becoming Nigerian next president. He has been there before. There's nothing novel he's coming to do. There's nothing new he's coming to do. It was under Jonathan a government that we had the greatest kind of scope of corrupt practices. The records are there. I don't want to mention name. But in this country, somebody was a minister and took billions or billions of naira and go and buy, I went to the Asia and bought a citizenship of another nation. Declaring to be a citizen of Nigeria, just to avoid being tried by the EFCC. So what are we saying? There's nothing new that Jonathan is coming to do. He has been there before. He needs to go and respect the little integrity that he has. I think on the other side, it is some northern governors for their own selfish agenda who is trying to pump Jonathan to come back as Nigeria president. They set up a kangaroo protest to go to Jonathan's office in Abuja and protest like to come back, that the Nigerian youth need him. I'm part of Nigerian youth. I don't need him to come back as Nigeria president because he has been there before. There's nothing novel that Jonathan is coming to do for this nation to progress our way out. There's nothing. He has
the right to contest.
Yeah, he has the right to contest.
And
but
he has the right to
new.
be. Okay, according to you, nothing new, because people may have different opinion about your views right now.
For me, there's nothing new, sir.
I almost called you Jonathan right now. Derek, take it on from there.
President Goodluck Jonathan, former President Goodluck Jonathan, exercising his right to contest as the next president of this country is laughable. It's unthinkable. I mean, it's despicable.
Why would you use the word despicable, laughable? To some, they want him to come back.
Some of us suffer from amnesia. Have we forgotten so soon? What led to the Broom Revolution? Have we forgotten? How this nation was hemorrhaging.
And Nigerians would ask, was it not better then?
You know, what is wrong is wrong.
But you've not answered the question. Nigerians asking, was it not better then compared to this club?
In our struggle to get to that state of Eldorado, we must continue to look forward, not backward. Nigeria have what it takes to be one of the 10th most prosperous nations in this world. We have what it is. We have the human capital. We have the natural resources. We have the capacity, the right weather and climates to get there. But we are a selfish people because we care only about ourselves to the detriment of the generality of all other citizens of this nation. One individual can put a stop in the wheel of progress of this nation, just to line his pocket, just to continue to be keeping money for his future generation yet unborn. But they forgot, or they keep forgetting, that there is glory in good works. Today we are still remembering our heroes past. It's not as if they really did anything unusual. They did not do anything unusual, but it's because we have not seen good leaders, servant leaders, philosophical kings who will take their place. That is why we are still remembering them. See, Nigeria political class, present day, have a chance to write their name in gold. You recall this story of Achilles, isn't Achilles? When he went to his mother to ask, should I go to this war? And his mother said, when you go to this war, if you do not, let me start from, if you decide not to go to this war, this Trojan war, you will marry and you will have children, and you will die. Your children will remember you as a loving father. Your children will remember you as a loving father. That's 2 generations, maybe maximum 60 to 100 years. But after that, you'll be forgotten. But she said, but if you go to this war, you will not return. But people will be singing your praise. History will be said about you in 1,000 years to come. And that was what prompted him to go to that war. See, there is glory in doing the proper thing. There is glory in being a servant leader. There is glory in ensuring that this nation, that the citizens of this nation be in a state of comfort and prosperity. What is wrong if we bring the real person, somebody that will not have the quality to transform Nigeria?
Okay.
Unselfishly.
Unselfishly.
To lead Nigeria. Okay. Instead of us trying to look for who we will use to destabilize the South. Goodluck Jonathan, they are calling for him to come and contest so that the delegate vote from the South, you know, will be shortened, will be, it will take some part of it. And the northern
what you're saying is all about part of the mix.
Yes, now game plan. They are very smart, our leaders. They are smart, but their smartness is true towards benefiting themselves.
Calm down. Obvious out there, don't forget that their opinions is theirs. It has to do with ITV.
They are smart.
I know. But they're doing the best possible to follow the regulations governing the airwaves. It's all about politics. It's all about 2023 election. It's all about filling the polls of Nigerians, especially Nigerians that are north in the northern part of the country. It's all about the presidency. Now let's take a look at the aspect of some ministers not resigning and they're aiming for various positions, politically speaking. It is still in the mix of some cabal.
It is saddening and very disheartening that those who seems to be in the aim of affairs of this nation, who needed to see the way for us, are not the one, delegating the nation, so to speak. I wonder why the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General have not resigned now. I have expressed interest to run for the governorship seat of Kebbi State. I wonder why the Minister of Transport have not resigned. I have expressed interest to run for the presidency seat of this nation. To me, quote unquote, let me use the local language, that is still finish. Considering the electoral act, and I saw what Femi Gbadagbamila, the Speaker of the House of Reps, said some days ago, that what those people are doing is risky on the part of our nation. No, everybody is aware, sir. We are aware that the electoral act has stipulated fairly clearly, and we have not accepted it, that if you want to contest for any position, any political position, any elected position, as an appointee, you must also resign within a specific period of time. Now, these people have declared their interest. They've refused to resign because there is nobody that can question them. They feel nobody can question them. Nobody can call them to order. And the president who wants to call them to order is on his own and looking at. You see, that's the problem we have in this nation. That's why this nation is going down the drain. There's so much lawlessness. There's no more lawlessness in our existence. Our political leaders do not respect order. They don't respect court order. They don't respect the constitution. They don't respect the provision of the electoral act. There is nothing in Nigeria politicians or those in our political affairs respect. And it's disheartening. They are showing the younger generation not to respect our laws and our rules, our vocations that will be existing as part of our social-cultural existence. Is it disheartening that ministers are flagged off to respect their interest in position? Up to now, nobody's obeying the provisions of the Electoral Act. No wonder that Section 84, Section 12 of the Electoral Act seems to be the bargaining political discussion over time, even before now. Their current character disposition shows, have a reflection of why they were actually fighting against that section of the Electoral Act. It is very, very clear. It is very, very clear. Well, be that as it may, sir, I will want to see what the House of Rep, as a matter of fact, the National Assembly, will do to those persons who have refused to resign their position and they are fighting to contest for political position. Let me give them 1 or 2 weeks from now and see what the House of Rep will do.
Over to you now, Derek. The same question. Ministers don't want to resign despite the fact that they declared their interest to vie for political offices.
Let them not resign. Why are we worried?
The Constitution.
Oh God, you just decide not to resign, and the party APC gives them the ticket to run for the various positions that they are vying for. Is it not to the advantage of the PDP? I'm not a member of PDP. Let them not resign. If eventually they become, they contest against the PDP, and we now go to court to withdraw their mandate. So who is on the losing side?
The same court order they may not obey.
So we don't need to bother ourselves. It's their own problem. And if their national working committee, decides to honor them with their party ticket, then so be it. So it's not an issue that actually disturbs the Nigerian people. It's the loss on the part of the APC. I mean, if they are not able to address their potential loss in a proactive way, you know, it's their problem.
So you're just happy about everything?
It's not as if I'm happy. Check this out. This goes to show the level and extent of nonchalance on the part of the political class. Nothing they happen, they always say, don't worry about it, we always have our way around it. And there's one problem with the Nigerian political class that I've noticed over the years. Once they are in power, they do not know how to manage power. You will see fighting here and there, here and there, here and there, until they will lose the power. PDP had that challenge. It was the lack of cohesion among the PDP leaders that led to the loss of seats in many states in the last election. And APC seem to be having that problem at the highest level of governance, which is the presidency. So if by now we have not learned our lessons and we continue to fall into that trap, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, right now, to call it a wrap on this show, because take a look at the time, it's fast spent. What advice do you have for those people saying zoning doesn't really matter? The minister still holding on to power, talking about not resigning, due to declared interest for political office. And of course, generally speaking, when you talk about you know, the fear of recession, put them together, what advice do you have for Nigerians? Let me start off with you, Barrister Gabriel Ehigato.
Well, we advise that as Nigerians, we should not succumb to the emotional political blackmail, saying that zoning should be scrapped off, saying that zoning do not matter. Zoning matters, not especially at this time. This is when zoning matters, considering the way the Northerners who have been in charge of our affair for the past almost 8 years now, the way they have treated this nation. They've exercised their political will. They've exercised their political knowledge. They've exercised their economic vibrancy and whatever, what do you call it? And this is where you are pulling us to. Let's bring us those with fresh ideas. Let's bring up a new set of persons who seems to know what they are doing. And let's test strong this country, because this country is on the test strong. We're going to start again. We're going to start afresh.
Anyway,
that's what we have.
Many Northerners will not agree that they took the nation backward, or they are trying to do one or two things to retain power. We still have some that are in for zoning. Let's not forget about that. Higato, you're a legal practitioner. Let's be guarded. We have rules and regulations, government the airwaves. Okay, they are not the one that drew us backward. No, politics is politics. They're doing their best. Oh my God, Derek. Your last line in this discussion.
My advice for the electorate or the political class, which one is
generally speaking, summing it up together.
You know, the electorate, and we advise the electorate to hold strong their PVC, keep it somewhere. Every other day, go and take a look at it with a view to ensuring that it is still there, and that we should continue to inspire ourselves that if the right candidate does not come from the north or the south, and you see that the right candidate is coming from the east, and speaking in parable, and you see that the right candidate did not come from the north or south, but he came from the east. Why don't you use your PVC to ensure that the person from the east is what you will give that mandate to govern this nation? You know, that's on the part of, you know, the electorate, because the power actually is ours, but because we do not know how to exercise it properly, we always miss it. Therefore, the political class, why is it always what is in it for me in this country? Why is it always this one is not my relative, or this one is not close to me, or this one will not be loyal? Why can't we look at the bigger picture? The bigger picture is nation building. The elite, are they not ashamed when they travel abroad? Don't they see how they treat us? Without Africa, if Africa withdraws all its resources, all its natural wealth, just in 2 weeks, Europe will plunge into recession. 2 weeks. Europe have nothing. Even their land is not fertile enough to go across, except for some Eastern European parts, Russia, Ukraine, and so on and so forth. You know, so we are actually supposed to be the kings, but we have become like the serfs, who is now serving those who were supposed to serve us.
Thank you.
So we need to go back to our drawing board to ensuring that we put round peg in round hole and square pegs in square hole.
Thank you so much, Derek Uhumago, and of course, Barrister Gabriel Ehigato. It's been a wonderful time, almost like, you know, also talking about national issues. You spoke your mind, but Gabriel, when it comes to northern southern, please calm down. Calm down, okay? They didn't drag us back. We are all one Nigeria, but we're taking a look at zoning to see how it affects our election, of course, our choices in choosing the president. Derek, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming. Gabriel, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate wonderful analysis. Like what you said earlier on, the comments they made here is their own comment. It has nothing to do with ITV, but it's all about nation building. Sometimes you need to speak truth to power. No matter whose ox is God, Nigeria is our own. If zoning is a gentlemanly agreement, why not? But if you feel that zoning will not give us the best, so may the best man win. Why not? We are all in this together. And of course, we do everything to fight against that prediction about Nigeria plunging into recession if we are not careful. Say God forbid, because recession is not a good thing, my brothers and sisters. It's not a good thing. And to all the workers that have been working tirelessly, happy Workers' Day to you. Bye for now.